All right. Hello again. This is Sean from the VG Boys, and once again, this is another VG Boys Place and Project Zomboid. One painful year challenge. So, I had recorded a few episodes, and in post production, a few of them just noticed that it was a bit of busy work. Really not that it's not interesting, because it is still a process. Like, we still have to move. But I just thought it was just a lot of moving stuff back and forth. And, like, I was talking while I was recording these the whole time. And nothing of interest was really said in the end. Like, it was just one of those things where, having looked at it to review, it was kind of like, what am I putting this out? And I felt bad to skip. Like, I know I'd done a few previous where I just skipped a few days and just was like, hey, it's now a few days later and here we are. But I don't know if that's like the best way to do this. It's kind of strange. So one thing I'll notice is you'll just see I put a backpack in the van, and there's a blue backpack now sitting next to the van. So this was a spoiler alert, a cause of frustration to me, because ultimately what ends up happening here is I try to load up this van with a bunch of things from the house, get it all there, and I'm kind of fighting back and forth where I'm like, hey, where's this bag? Why is it on me? And it ends up being that it's showing in the van right now, but it's actually on the floor. So that's why I'm like, all right, let me try to equip this, and see it's still showing in the van, but it's no longer on the floor. And I'm like, all right, this is kind of strange. Let me put you, and like, no matter what I do, it just keeps going. Like, it's equipped primary or secondary and goes right back there. So I try moving it into the seat, and it turns out the bag is extremely full. So yeah, anyway, I just wanted to like clarify that a little bit, because this was like something that I found out later on, where it's like, all right, put the bag in the passenger seat, and there it is still. And I go to equip it, and it takes me to the passenger seat. So there's something bugged with this that I just happened to notice. And again, it's not a big deal, but that's just one part of this one day that I recorded, is I'm trying to move things to the new location. And, it's kind of uninteresting, I guess, in the end, to just be watching something go back and forth, climbing the fence, because, granted, it's pretty safe here, but like, I'm keeping the wall up, and like, that ended up being a good and a bad thing, where that I probably in the end, if I was going to stay here longer, would have made like a staircase with a platform going out past the balcony with a sheet rope, and that would have probably allowed me to just climb the sheet rope back over the fence instead of having to climb and exert energy. But it it is what it is. So I just figured I would make the time go a bit quicker, join a couple episodes together that wasn't really the most interesting, but at the same time able to let you see it. So, and this is like a weird, like, said like alpha designation on the radio, where it was like, I kind of was just thinking, like, all right, maybe like when it tells you that there's some sort of activity, we're going to have a helicopter come in. So I was like not sure if I was going to have to deal with that during this, but in the end, a lot of back and forth, a lot of really heavy gear, and you can see I'm overloaded, so it does become apparently damaging to your character to constantly carry all this heavy stuff around. Not to mention, I think still trying to keep the weight going down, so he's already not at max strength because of the very hungry, or even the starving, depending on how low it was getting at times. So, that's one thing. But, just trying to get this going. So I'm going to probably put a bit of music. And if there's anything worth talking about, I'll jump back in. No sense in just letting this be a complete me talking over all this stuff going. But, I figured I'd let you guys see a bit, if you choose to watch. It's still like an interesting process. Like I try to keep an eye on the plants because ultimately like I should probably just move completely into this new place, but I'd rather let these last bit of food finish growing. That's kind of my mindset with this. Is I have a lot more to grab still here, and ultimately I'll just wait until all of the fruits and vegetables that are growing to be finished, and then make the ultimate move to the interim base, which is that warehouse, which we had previously been working on clearing. At the time, I was just kind of also, I just felt like things that I can find there, and it ended up being, now that I like realized where the country club ended up being a good jump off base to clear that, because as we've seen, there's a lot of zombies over in that area, so it's going to be a good amount of clearing. I don't think nearly as bad as, say, like, some of the bigger towns, but it still looked like quite a bit, so I don't feel like it's not a worthy task. But, we'll just let this play out, and I'll jump back in. All right, so enjoy. Yeah, right here I just figured I would prep this little campfire here, adding some fuel in case that chopper did in fact come, because I really wasn't sure with that weird, thing of like alpha sector activity. Like it's hard to determine sometimes. And this is once again why I can't have nice things, as I almost crashed terribly into trees. And one thing I will say also is this truck is so loud. Like I was almost like slowing down when I was driving just to see if like the chopper was in fact there, because I don't know if the chopper is louder than the truck. Truck's loud. here we are once again. That stupid hiking bag still showing in the truck. And it's very frustrating to see this because it's like taking up space is like really the whole issue, is that like it is in fact showing there. And it's like, why? So I don't know if an exit of the game is what would do this, but you got me on that one. I honestly don't know what would help fix that, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Yeah, I decided not to take like every single pot. Like this is like when I had nothing. Now that I can make actual rain collectors, having all these pots out front didn't really seem like a necessary step. Like I could just make multiple rain collectors and hopefully that'll satisfy whatever farming I'm going to do in the future. But I figured some of the cookware, watering can to at least collect from the rain collector. They seem to hold a pretty good amount of water. And maybe a bucket or two, just a few things. And I just emptied them out. So a pot, a bucket, watering can. Seemed like, or 2 watering cans rather. It just seemed like a few things to take. Maybe able to cook with them later. Hadn't really decided. But yeah, still no chopper at this point in the day. So it was like, all right, I don't know what that information on that radio really meant, but it is what it is, I guess. A whole lot of nothing. So at this point, I think it's getting late in the day, so I decided that I'm gonna probably just call it quits and just finish out the day, start a new one. Yeah, go from there. And I was just kind of going through like all my traits that I had there. Still got out of shape, and I wasn't sure if like running more with the fitness would take care of that. And I'm just kind of going through like what I still needed to read and what was already got their perks. So for the most part, most of the things were looking good there. A few books I definitely had to work on, and that was the gist. But yeah, more of the same here. Just gonna bring some bags, bring them out, get as many outside, ready to go, ready to travel. again, it's saying activity. So I was like, all right, maybe today's going to be chopper day. So we already have a campfire set up. And I realized I didn't actually take that with me. That's always so funny when I realized that silly thing was done. Yeah, I don't know how smart it is to have all this heavy stuff in your lap, like on you while you're not moving, but am in fact driving. Like, is it just the physical moving, or is it like holding it that causes the damage? It's hard to tell sometimes. I don't honestly know the answer. But yeah, doing my best to not crash this thing. But yeah, again, this thing's so loud, and I was like, is this thing in fact drowning out the helicopter? So I was definitely slowing down at times just to get an idea, like maybe it was here. Nope, nothing. Okay, just this loud vehicle. One thing that having looked over these, because in the moment I'm just trying to get these things in this warehouse and get myself ready to because ultimately they're not staying here. I don't need to like keep this clear. I just need it here so that when eventually we're able to make the move, it's easy access of grabbing and bringing to the country club, or at least having it like handy if I need anything from these bags. But it's one of those things where I'm like, if I actually need a specific thing, not that I was super organized in the other house, but like, God help me. Like, I don't think I'm going to be able to find anything until we're cleared. So hopefully trying to find better organization from the get-go in the country club is the way to go. Like, maybe building some more of these crates is this like the ideal thing to do. It's not like that interesting because I kind of like having cabinets and all that kind of stuff, but it's definitely, you could see they hold so much that it definitely makes you pause for a moment of like, should I be utilizing this instead? So we'll see. I haven't made a decision. I gotta see what the country club actually holds as far as in it, because again, I've never been there, so I don't know what's actually inside. I've just seen like some people like kind of go through the area, but no one actually ever clear it, which is why personally I want to attempt this myself with this challenge. Not to mention it's not like, because where we started here, we're so far from everything that at least this is a little bit closer to things. When I mean this, I'm talking about the country club. Like, it's a little bit further, I guess south. Like, the way the map is positioned is a little strange. Or west. It's hard to it's hard to really determine. I'm assuming it's south. I'm feeling north is like the direction the van's currently driving right now, like upper right corner of the screen where the PlayStation controller icon is north is my assumption. Because I don't think I have a compass that I'm aware of. I don't believe so. So, and yeah, at this point I was really wanting to just take a look at this area, because when we drove through, there was a ton of zombies over by the area, because I probably would have maybe went to that storage facility instead once we kind of had it like going, but like the fact there was so many zombies there, I didn't really feel like clearing it out right away and going from there. Like, that's going to have to be hopefully a helicopter day, which again could be this day, but it's hard to tell. The way like the radio works is very misleading at times. So I figure let me get one close to here, as the facility is like right around this area. So I just wanted to put a a campfire, nice and situated, add some fuel. This way, when the chopper comes, it's just a quick run over here, and you can see there's still a bunch of zombies down there. So I don't feel like messing with them until I have to, because the chopper's coming. Like, we know that this is at that point where we're gonna need to work on that. And it's funny, like, doing this a day apart, like, I completely forget where I put these things sometimes. Like, it's one of those things where, like, I've noticed that in my other playthroughs is, like, once I put something down, but I just wanted to get an idea what was going on down there, and it looked like my little wall going into the place was still up, which is great. So they're not, like, hopefully just able to wander in. Like, maybe the facility is pretty closed down. And I love running with the spear. It looks like I'm ready to, like, charge with the spear. Like, I mean, I guess I am charging with the spear, but it's hilarious to watch. But I am trying to run a lot more with this character to get that fitness going, because it is pretty low. I can't really run for too long. Like, you'd see, I get winded like crazy, not to mention the out of shape thing. So I'm trying to work, like, this is like one of those things where I'm trying to work this guy up to see if maybe I can break that out of shape, and then he'd be like a normal character. But yeah, it's funny. The truck is so loud. They love going for the truck, even though I'm, like, right there ready to kill them. So funny. But yeah, at this point, I was like, I've been running over these bodies so much. Let's just get rid of a few of them, because why not? Why not? It's a tad annoying. I feel like this is, like, necessary groundswork that needs to be done in order to make the journey a little bit smoother. But so far, still no helicopter, and I did not crash into a tree this time. So I know you're all rooting for me on that one, and I appreciate it. But here's a few more bodies. So time to just get them out of the way. Why leave them on the road that I can just run them over all the time? Very silly to do. A few minutes work does make the job easier, which is also why, like, it is hard. Like, when you're in the moment and you're fighting zombies, to, like, get off the road. Like, I've noticed it a lot in other streamers and other people that play. Like, it makes sense to just get out of the way. And, like, here I am. I'm trying to do this, but, like, it's like, what is more important to you? Like, right now, I'm not killing zombies. I could have ran over, killed these guys, but instead I'm waiting, and now they're running over to you. So is, like, the risk worth the reward to not have to just move the bodies for a moment? Instead of, like, wasting a few minutes of the day where it's like I could be doing other things. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things where I don't know the correct answer. Like, obviously clearing the road is good, but maybe there's a better way to do it. I don't know. In any case, cleared out the front of the house pretty good. All these books and stuff is garbage. Like, obviously I've just been throwing them there. That's good for fires and stuff, but I'm not going to take all of them, because honestly, we could just cut down trees. We can, just throw bandages, dirty bandages and stuff in. Like, all that stuff works. One thing I will like is that it's very confusing, because sometimes the way the info shows is, like, on these farming things is, like, is it ready to be harvested? But it'll tell you harvest when you select it. So I don't know if that's clear to some people that might not be aware of how this game looks. But yeah, it's funny. Like, I'd seen people lock garages from inside, but with the controller, if you're able to do it by clicking, for me, I'm using the PlayStation, so by clicking the square button, it brings up, like, a menu of what's available in that space you're either looking or standing. And it's like open window, all that. That's from hitting square. So when I'm in the garage just now, it wasn't coming up as, lock. So walking outside, though, you could. But I know other people, I'd seen that they had to actually, right-click over in the specific area. I don't know if that got patched out, because it does make sense. You really can't lock it unless you're outside. So I don't know if they were trying to avoid people just sitting in garages. But in any case, I just decided, the day's pretty much done. There's not much else to do. I'm just going to try to work up a little carpentry by dismantling this house, basically, because, again, we're going to be leaving. There's no sense keeping everything standing, because who cares? And I think I pretty much do that for the rest of the day, and then call it quits, So, yeah, thank you all for joining me. And I know it was a couple days put together, but appreciate it. And we'll catch you on the next one. I hope you all have a great rest of your day.